This week, House Republicans are going to bring a resolution to the floor to formalize our impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Put simply, this vote will allow the House Judiciary, Oversight, and Ways and Means Committees to continue their investigations. The evidence mounting against the president cannot be ignored. We know Joe Biden has lied to or misled the American people about his knowledge of his son's business dealings over and over again. And it is very likely that he was involved in and benefited from his family's corrupt business dealings as well. So the House has an obligation to continue gathering evidence and ensure the American people get the transparency and the accountability they deserve. Yet the Biden administration has been stonewalling our investigations. The Department of Justice has refused to allow 2 attorneys to testify before the Judiciary Committee. The White House sent Chairman Comer and Jordan a letter stating they have no intention of complying with our subpoenas and requests for interviews without a formal vote. And the National Archives has withheld thousands of pages of documents and emails. It's clear the House will have to defend our lawful investigations in court.
Let me stop it real quick. This is the same archives that said that President Trump was unlawful because he had documents at Mar-a-Lago. And for everyone that doesn't know, if there are any trolls on here, as president, you have up to 5 years. Up to 5 years. So President Trump had ample time to go through the documents. 5 years to hand them over. 5 years. But they didn't want to give President Trump 5 years. The archives, they're just as shady as the FBI and the DOJ and the whole rest of them. Just as shady. All of this, it would never have gotten to this point even if they would have just allowed them to talk to Congress, to the House members. It would have never gotten to this point. But they're hiding information, and they're hiding it on purpose.
And passing this resolution will put us in the best position possible to enforce our subpoenas and set forth a clear process. As we have said numerous times before, voting in favor of an impeachment inquiry does not equal impeachment. We will continue to follow the facts wherever they lead. And if they uncover evidence of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, then and only then will the next steps towards impeachment proceedings be considered.
Right there. You can take it off the screen. That's when they will start. Y'all notice something different from when they were impeaching President Trump? They never even did an inquiry at all. Both times when they impeached Trump in the House. Not a single time that they did an inquiry. They went straight from, oh my goodness, impeach him, impeach him. Let's just talk about it a little bit and have a vote. And if y'all remember, all of the witnesses that they brought forward were not the same witnesses that the Republicans have, whistleblowers, firsthand people. All of the witnesses the Democrats had were secondhand. They were hearsay from 3 and 4 generations of hearsay. You ever play that game when you were young, where you say one thing in one person's ear and the next person's ear and the next person's ear, about time to get back to you is something completely different because somebody changed it up? That's what happened with the Democrats. But in this case, they're getting people coming to them directly about this. Listen to Byron Donalds as he's describing about all of this that was taking place, because Joe Biden, he's lied repeatedly. And when he's asked about the lies, he just lies even more.
I will say is that we just had a vote a week ago where we expelled George Santos. Now, I did not vote to expel George. I felt George should have had his day in court. But if you're going to take a vote to expel George Santos based upon the Ethics Committee report, then you should easily be able to vote for an impeachment inquiry based upon the investigation that's been brought forward by the Oversight Committee, the Judiciary Committee, and the Ways and Means Committee. Because with all due respect, with everything that happened with George, and the accusations are not good, but that pales in comparison to the accusations that have been leveled and the evidence that has come underneath those accusations against the Biden family. So I would urge all of my colleagues to vote for that impeachment inquiry this week. The precedent had been that either you were in the Confederate Army or you were convicted in a court of law. That did not happen to George. So if the new standard is allegations and ethics complaints, then Bob Menendez needs to go.
Ooh. Bob Menendez needs to go. This is the right way to do it. I noticed I saw some people in the comments here saying that they're so sick and tired of the lip service. And I'm with you on that. I'm tired of them talking. But you remember, it was this, if Kevin McCarthy was here, they wouldn't even be this far.
Yeah.
You take that in consideration. Had Mike Johnson been there from day one, this would have happened 2 years ago. All of this information would have came to the surface 2 years ago. If Mike Johnson was there.
Well, I think our problem is we're tired of waiting.
We're tired of waiting.
I mean, that's really what it is. And so now at this point where things are actually starting to move and actually starting to happen, my worry is that they don't vote for a formal impeach inquiry. If that happens, I think they're doing it Friday.
Is it Friday?
Right? If they
this
do
week,
Friday,
right?
then literally, you know how many people are going to be angry?
Yeah, because they're probably going to do another indictment on Trump.
I mean,
probably in Arizona.
Because this is the one person we actually have evidence on.
Tangible.
And if you want...
Tangible. You got evidence and witnesses, firsthand witnesses.
Right. And if you want him to be proven innocent, then why not agree to an impeachment inquiry to show that, hey, we got nothing to hide. There's nothing there. Why is Ratskin this week going around to all the GOP offices and saying, listen, let's table this impeachment inquiry. You know why? Because they're worried. They know there's something in his closet. They know that there's proof. They just don't want it to go further. They're going to say, oh, in the name of great social, of our great country, we don't want to drag the country down.
When they did that, they did that 8 years when Trump was in office, but it was okay then. It was okay then.
Right, let's not go this black hole, but they want to go down the black hole with Trump all the time.
Yeah, listen to Mike Johnson, because he's asked a question by someone in the press. What happens if you don't go to an impeachment from some time, like 3 months from now? Listen how he explains it.
You guys don't call an impeachment vote in the next few months. They're going to say, wait a minute, that's it. I mean, haven't you put them over the barrel a little bit if you, in fact, do not have a vote to impeach the President of the United States in a couple of months?
Chad, we're following the Constitution, and I've made this very clear. Remember, my background is constitutional law. I served on an impeachment defense team twice under President Trump. We developed, unfortunately, Elisa and I, an expertise in this area. This is not something they really covered in law school. What you know about impeachment, if you look at the Constitution, is it's a heavy authority that's given to the House, specifically to the House. That's where the power lies. And next to the declaration of war, you've all heard me say many times, I think it may be the heaviest power that we have. It's very, very serious business. And it has to be conducted in that way. The impeachment inquiry is necessary now, as Whip Emmer just explained, because we've come to this impasse where following the facts where they lead is hitting a stone wall, because the White House is impeding that investigation now. They're not allowing witnesses to come forward and thousands of pages of documents. So we have no choice. To fulfill our constitutional responsibility, we have to take the next step. We're not...
You know what? Let me stop it there. What's going to happen? You take it off the screen. They're going to get this information and they're going to present it to the American people. That's all they can do. I think, can put the comments on the screen real quick. Let's put the chat on the screen. Is there anyone in disagreement with me on this? All they can do is get the information and then present it to the American people, because I've already explained it multiple times. Not even Chuck Schumer. Doesn't even have to be Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell will make sure that this falls flat on its face as soon as it gets over to the Senate. Yeah, you can show the article, because that's all it's going to do. All they can do is do this and show it, and hopefully people will be informed.
Yeah.
Hopefully people will be informed.
And this is what I was talking about. If you guys hadn't heard, this was Monday. House Oversight Democrat quietly meeting with GOP lawmakers in an effort to squash the impeachment inquiry. And who they talking about? Of course, they're talking about Raskin. You know what I mean? I mean, they got something to hide. He knows it. Why would you do this unless you thought that there was something that they were going to find?
Exactly. So I'm looking in the comments, and I see Jeremy's in the house. Jeremy's in there, and he's telling everyone to make sure you tune in to Base America Live after this. He actually put the link in the chat here. I don't know if he's still on here now, but put the link in again, Jeremy, if you would, please, sir. Yeah, tune in. An informed voter. Do you know what happens with an informed voter? They vote Republican. See, the left, they want people to be dumbed down. They don't want you to have all the information. because they know if you have all the information, you're not going to vote for them. That's the reason why we see them fighting. That's the reason why we see them pushing back on allowing this information. Ratskin going and making his rounds, trying to make deals, trying to prevent people from knowing the truth. That's his whole MO. He's been like that forever. He didn't do that when they were going after President Trump. He didn't go to the Democrats saying, look, we shouldn't be taking the country through this. We need to stop this. We need to try to make some positive stuff happen here. He didn't do that at all. None of them did. They were all behind removing President Trump because President Trump was for us here in America. That's the main thing here.
You like the content Will Johnson is producing? To stay informed and up to date with the current events, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Also, to find Will Johnson, visit www.uaf.media.